time to face these leftover pieces. What's left here? What's the final miracle? Hmm? What's this? A tiny little piece. Sometimes a piece gets cracked and breaks. A cracked fate is a completely different fate. Which fate does this belong to? Pick up the tiny piece and try to match it with the pieces I have in my hand. And the last piece I picked is the piece of the Himatsubushi chapter. This piece is distorted from the beginning. And look, see? This tiny piece fits perfectly. With this tiny piece, how would the world change? What kind of miracle would occur? The whole world warps. I reattached the broken piece, so I guess a fault line was created. That doesn't mean I can't take a peek inside. It is already after the 60th year of the Showa era. It is a time after Furude Rika and the other story finished in the dead end, in the June of the 58th year of the Showa era. Beep, I hear an order with some interference through my headset. To all units, the chief has a message for all of you. Listen up. Good work, everyone. The local police has given us 15 minutes to wrap this up, but I'm giving you a few seconds. Don't let a single person escape. The main target is a diplomat. Don't let him suspect you're a cop. Just grab him. But make sure you don't hurt him. If you do, it'll lead to diplomatic problems. They are dirtbags who hide under diplomatic immunity to deal with the local gangsters. They launder money from drug dealing and force people into the sex slave trade by means to pay off high-interest debts. According to the local embassy, some of the victims are younger than teenagers. Shitbags! Normally, this is a simple case with gangsters being involved. When the police found out this case involved a foreign diplomat, things got complicated all of a sudden. Diplomats have diplomatic immunity, so they can't arrest them. But the police know he's an important figure in this scheme, and there's no doubt that he's the middleman between the illegal activities conducted by foreign criminal organizations and the Japanese gangsters. They can't let him escape. It'll be easy to deport him, but that doesn't solve anything. The police have asked the embassy where he works for assistance, but they denied his request. The case was put on a standstill at that point. That's when they found out that the organization was going to be selling our self-defense forces classified radar and missile technology secrets. The Public Safety Division set the move on the premise to protect the classified government information. And today's the day the operation is set to go. 2 men at the front stairs, 2 men at the underground entrance, 4 men at the back door. All suspects are believed to be armed. Do more than usual, huh? It only takes 2 seconds more for that man. He shows no mercy. Can you hear, Akasaka? You'll be the lead man. Be careful. Okay, let's move. This is Akasaka, copy. Let's go. Mamoru. A man suddenly appears around the corner in downtown. It's Akasaka. But he doesn't have the naiveness that he showed when he first met Rika. When he gets to the entrance of the underground club, a bouncer with a heavy foreign accent stops him. This place, members only. Do you have membership card? Akasaka pulls out a membership card. It's a card that's very difficult to forge, so they could only get one. Since he's the lead man, he got it. When the bouncer confirms a membership card, he lets him in. Akasaka-san passed the border at the entrance. The bouncer at the entrance. He's going down the stairs. Come on, Akasaka. At the end of the staircase, there's an overly decorated door like the ones you see for those high-class clubs. The cocktail lights shine like venom as if it's foretelling that this is the entrance to the evil cave. Welcome. May I see your membership card? The guard at the entrance takes the membership card and puts it through the card reader on the wall. Beep! An arrow sound. A slight perspiration is seen on Akasaka's forehead. The guard swipes the card a couple times more. Beep! Beep! Akasaka-san's having a problem. Will they change the system? If Akasaka gets into trouble, we'll change the plan. We'll secure Akasaka's safety. Here the guard starts to look irritated. His right hand reaches inside of his jacket. He's probably reaching to his gun. Ding dong! The buzzer suddenly rings a delightful tone, and the card reader flashes a green light. Immediately after that, the lock to the door unlocks. Thank you for waiting. Please go in. The guard pulls his hand out of his jacket and opens the heavy door. Loud music and flashing colorful lights spill out from the inside. A well-dressed guard comes from the inside and welcomes him. At this moment, Akasaka's first mission is accomplished. This is a go signal for all units. At the same time, it means Akasaka is in the enemy territory all by himself, and he's in an extremely dangerous position. The door is the biggest obstacle to make the ambush. The door locks automatically, so when it closes, it's locked at the same time. It's a solid door, and it's extremely difficult to open from the outside. Somebody has to open this door and keep it open for several seconds in order for this raid to begin. And Akasaka is the only one who can do that. This is Akasaka. Entrance secured. Go, go, go! The building on the other side of the club is getting a new tenant, and there are 2 trucks parked in front of it. But they are both disguises. The door of one of the trucks opens and several dozen plainclothes investigators jump out. The same thing is happening at the back door, too. The ground-level guards notice this and begin to draw their guns, but they are taken down immediately by investigators nearby, who are standing by as innocent bystanders. Standing by as bystanders. Several dozen investigators quietly go down the underground stairs. These narrow underground stairs are another obstacle in this operation. Choke point. Everything is on the security camera. So within a few seconds, this ambush is going to be known. Push on the security button will make it impossible for the lock to be opened on the outside. That's why they must secure the door before the ambush. The guards on both sides of Akasaka notice the footsteps coming from down the stairs. The well-dressed guard also realizes something is wrong. The 3 guards shift their attention from Akasaka to the back stairs. Akasaka senses their shift of attention. Akasaka takes a small breath and stops his breath. The 2 guards standing beside him suddenly rise into the air in strange positions. Akasaka figured out his position alongside the 2 guards next to him, so he didn't need to check it with his eyes. But still, his fists drove into their faces with precise accuracy. His moves are well trained and show no mercy against evil. They are as destructive as an armor-piercing ammunition. He retracts his arm to the same speed as he struck. Everything looks so strange in the flashing lights. The man who saw this probably can't figure out what just happened. The 2 guards are up in the air in weird positions, and the man who was standing in front of him is now crouching low. The time that seemed to have stopped suddenly begins to move at crashing speed. Well-dressed guard is smashed to the ceiling and now crashes down onto the floor. Holy shit! He will try to remember desperately while slurping liquid food at a later date whether it was his fist or his leg that broke his jaw. He probably won't remember. Luckily, he rolls onto the floor and blocks the door so Akasaka doesn't have to hold the door open anymore. This is Akasaka. I'm going in. Wait! Wait for the backup! Akasaka! The room is filled with loud music, so everyone already noticed the brouhaha at the entrance. Everybody get down! As soon as Akasaka bellows his warning, screams fill the club. Most of the people immediately duck to the floor as if they are trying to proclaim their innocence from their sins. All the guards react quickly against Akasaka. In the midst of this, there are a few people who are trying to make their escape through the back with several guards. Akasaka restarts his breathing once and then stops again, and he runs after them like a wolf. Whoa! Ooh. He jumps onto the table, smashing expensive bottles of alcohol and scattering glasses with ice cubes made from the icebergs of the Arctic. Wow! A foreign bodyguard whose previous profession must have been a professional boxer thoughtlessly stands in front of Akasaka. With a heavy accent, he tries to taunt Akasaka. Akasaka doesn't care less about that. The only show this man was able to show was that he was able to block Akasaka's move. But it wasn't even a guard! The power of Akasaka's punches is so incredible, it'll just break the man's bones in his desperate attempt to block them. The man's arm warps in a strange way, and a moment after, his face shows agony. Akasaka's left arm grinds into his face. Akasaka is right-handed, so this man should be grateful that he's able to get away with just an orbital fracture. Another man tries to tackle Akasaka from behind, thinking that this is his chance. He thought no matter how strong a guy is, he'll go down easily being attacked from behind. He also thought because he's concentrating in front of him, he isn't expecting an attack from behind. That's only if Akasaka is actually concentrating in front of him. He's very wrong if Akasaka isn't even thinking of a guy in front of him. Akasaka knows exactly when and what is about to happen. The experience he has built up to this day taught him that. His body remembers the timing and method when menaces to society like these would make their move from his back. His move continues fluidly from the left arm that he struck against the ex-boxer. His left arm retracts, and at the same time, he arcs his left leg around beautifully as it crashes into the man approaching him from behind. A dull sound tells him his nose is broken. Super kick! But Akasaka already knows that. Akasaka continues his motion and directs a decisive right blow to the side of his head. The man slams into the wall and bounces back to roll onto the floor. Holy shit, Akasaka's fucking one-punch man here. Akasaka takes another breath. Under the glare of the flashing club lights, the guards realize they're up against a demon. There's no way to interfere with him. The guards are being paid to fight with humans. Fighting against non-humans isn't on their job list. Then finally the backup arrives. Maybe finally isn't a suitable word. Everything happened in a matter of seconds. The time it took for Akasaka to take down 2 of the 5 guards was just a span of 2 breaths. Put your hands above your head and get down on the floor. I won't guarantee your life if you resist. Thanks to Akasaka's heroic move, the flow is already set. The impressive strike of Akasaka shatters the gang leader's will to run. They're all down on the floor, but one of them shows a smile. You shouldn't touch me. It'll evoke a diplomatic scandal. Akasaka grabs his collar and smashes him against the concrete wall. This is what I think of your diplomatic scandal, bitch. Punk. Are you a policeman? I have diplomatic immunity. I am a diplomat. Good for you. So how much do you get paid, huh? This will be a diplomatic scandal. Let me call the embassy. With a dragon-like roar, Akasaka's right fist pounds the wall next to the diplomat's head. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Immediately after that, his left fist pounds the wall on the other side of the diplomat's head. Akasaka pounds the wall 7 times, just a sliver away from the diplomat's head. Holy shit. His fist is powerful enough to crush this man's head entirely. The man crumples down onto the floor. This is Akasaka. Target secured. The later investigation finds out that there was a secret gateway route that the public safety didn't know about. They found dozens of Soviet military-grade machine guns. If Akasaka hadn't stopped them in the club, they would have escaped, or even worse. This operation might have ended with a brutal death toll on both sides. All due to Akasaka's great work, this operation was put down without a single shot fired. Akasaka's manly fists of manly rage. Come on, hurry! Local police will be here soon. Put them on the truck! Since the foreign diplomat is involved, we have to make sure it doesn't look like this whole thing was carried out by the police. This operation is made to look like a simple gangster war. Dump the useless gang members and hand over the target to the police. Of course, before handing him over, they'll make sure he spills out everything he knows. This diplomatic pig will be used as a negotiation device by another part of our department. There's plenty of evidence that this pig is tied to an underground criminal organization. The embassy won't want a persona non grata on their hands. They will cut off any ties with him. The rest is the other department's business. Public safety's job is to take care of things regular police can't step in on. Akasaka, are you okay? Come in, Akasaka. This is Akasaka. We're on our way. You've done it again! The chief will be on your case. Akasaka-san is a demon. 5 men within seconds. That's not karate anymore. His fists are deadly weapons. His fists are weapons of mass destruction. But it was lucky none of them drew their guns. Knowing how brutal Akasaka-san is, he could have turned them into honeycombs. Shut up! Don't make me sound like an assassin. I have no mercy against evil, that's all. Pigs he caught today are not just average criminals. They've committed so many unforgivable crimes. The power of Akasaka's fists is proportional to their sins. The heavier their sins, the more powerful his blows are. Come on, round them up. Akasaka, make them hurry. The local police will be here. This is Akasaka. Roger. Did you guys hear? Hurry up. Roger. Command, we have 5 injured. Please have meds ready. There's no trace of naiveness in Akasaka. He has grown to be a vigilant ace in his department. Holy shit. Akasaka. Holy fuck. Wow. Akasaka is training inside a dark dojo filled with the smell of sweats and mold. The dojo is located in the middle of downtown in a small building. It's not that big, but they're not well equipped either. It sure doesn't look like a dojo where a skilled person like Akasaka trains. There are only 3 or 4 students, including Akasaka. And this is the dojo Akasaka picked. To Akasaka, karate is the way to fight against his enemy, but he has a different reason. To achieve his goal, a dojo with many young students having actual physical lessons doesn't work. He has gone to so many different dojos, this is the one he finally found. Every time Akasaka punches a sandbag, the heavy sound of his punch and the sound of chain echo. He's not just punching blindly. He thinks first and develops his thoughts, then punch! It's more of a deep and low vibration than a sound. Drops of sweat scatter and the dust swells up into the air. It's an all-for-one type of strike. Very deep, very thoughtful. Very powerful strikes, but he isn't satisfied. He closes his eyes. He controls his breathing as if he's trying to hear the cry of cicadas, and then he punches again. It almost appears to be as if he's taking a break here and there. The other students can feel the monstrosity of each propelled clouds, enough to send chills down their spines. I heard Akasaka-san works at the police department. Really? If someone like him is a policeman, I don't want to do anything bad. But his concentration is amazing. He never gets tired. On his days off, Akasaka comes to the dojo in the early morning, and he trains all day just silently. His training is no longer a physical one. It is more of a mental training for him. The other students already know of his continuous concentration. It's the secret of his strength. That's easier said than done. Man lives a life filled with many problems and ecstatic thoughts. For a person to submit all his will into such a singular focus, it's more like trying to attain enlightenment than a realm of martial arts. Really, yeah. Man has tried many different methods to achieve such enlightenment. And there's not only one way. Any man can get there as long as he focuses on that one subject. Karate is what Akasaka chose. Rumor says his wife is dead. Supposedly he's doing karate to forget about it. Really? That's different from what I heard. I heard he couldn't save a girl or something on the job, and he realized his weakness or something like that. Hey, I can hear you. Quit talking about other people and train. Yes, sir. There's a small beeping sound. Somebody's watch is telling it's noontime. Akasaka-san, we're going to get some lunch. Can we get you something too? Sure, please. I don't care what you get. Thanks. Akasaka is more delighted about being alone in the dojo than having them bring back lunch for him. When they leave, silence fills the dojo. Shit. My focus dissipated because they talked about me. But if his focus shifted because of a small talk like that, that means he has much more training to do. He has to train much harder if he wants to achieve enlightenment. He focuses again and starts to punch the sandbag. But but the sound is a lot lighter than before, and obviously the strength in his fists is no longer there. He realizes he needs to take a break. He pulls out a towel from his bag and sits down. The sound of cicadas soaks into his body. The windows are open, but there's no breeze coming in. But he can feel a little breeze. Just like they say, the reason Akasaka started karate is Yuki's death. Of course, losing against the suspect in that kidnapping incident was one reason too. But more than that, the pain from Yuki's death made him start karate. Yuki fell down the stairs at the hospital and died while he was on a business trip in Shishibone. He couldn't get rid of the sadness, so he started karate. Let me process that for a second. Because that feels different than, business trip in Shishibone. Clarify me a thing. Is that referred to the kidnapping incident? It seems odd for him to just casually mention the kidnapping incident, and then mention Yuki's death, which in the fragment that we saw of him, his wife died while he was away on this trip. Which means that either Yuki died later on, or which honestly is the more depressing outcome, is that the reason why we couldn't defeat Rule Y in Higurashi is because Rika tipped off Mamoru and made him go home to Yuki, and she never died on the stairs. The reason why we couldn't get through this is because Akasaka's wife didn't die. How crazy is that? This is obviously what we're getting at here, is Mamoru's wife dies. Obviously the kidnapping incident still happens. That piece is on the board, that's not going to change. But Mamoru's wife dies, he takes up karate, and he gets the focus and the strong will that could really sway this fate. But in the June of the 58th year of Showa era, when the Hinamizawa disaster occurred, he realized something very important. A girl predicted Yuki's death, and in return, she wanted him to help her. Yuki's death was an accident. He could have told himself there was nothing he could have done. But the girl, Furude Rika's death was different. She knew about her own death 5 years prior to that. When the Hinamizawa disaster occurred, he remembered about Oishi and called him to make sure he's okay. Then found out about everything. When he found out, he fell into despair. Furude Rika was the turning point in his life. If he had believed what she predicted and did something about it, maybe Yuki didn't have to follow down those stairs. He took the oath of serving the public as a police officer, yet he couldn't notice a plea of help from a little girl. He shoved aside a conspiracy surrounding her until it was too late. He had 5 years to do something about it, but he didn't do anything, and she died. Visiting Hinamizawa for the kidnapping case of the minister's grandson was definitely the turning point in his life. If he had only listened to what the girl said, Yuki would have never died. and he could have been there to help Furude Rika. These two things still haunt him. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa that he heard from Uishi was put on indefinite hiatus because of the Hinamizawa disaster. It was apparent to both of them that there was some conspiracy behind it. To challenge such things, he needs all the strength and experience that he could get. He's devoting himself to gain such strength, but it's too late. Everything is done already. When he was stuck in this dilemma, the dojo instructor admonished him. There's nothing one can do about what's already done. Then, the only thing he can do is to train diligently, so that if the same thing is to happen again, he would be able to save a person in need. It's all too late. Everything is already done. Yuki died in an accident, Hinamizawa was destroyed in the gas disaster, and Rika was murdered as her guts were torn out while she was alive. Shit. He was too immersed by Yuki's death and couldn't hear the girl's plea of help. No, if he had listened to her, he could have prevented Yuki's accident too. Okay, damn it. Damn it. Shit. Let Akasaka say shit. As Akasaka clutches his hair and looks up, there's a small shrine overhead to protect the dojo. Akasaka respects Shinto and Buddhism, but he has never thought of seeking salvation at times of despair. But for the first time, he wants to pray for help. If it's something he's capable of doing himself, he wouldn't pray about it. But it's something he can't do anything about, so he prays. It is a very selfish wish. If his wish were to come true, everything in the whole world would wish for the same thing. Please, please give me another chance to go back to that time. I swear I will save both of them this time. At that moment, Akasaka's body feels light suddenly. Ooh. No, it's more like losing balance, as if he's fainting. Perhaps it is because he shouted so loudly after the training, and his brain is lacking oxygen. But he can't just take his eyes off the shrine. We needed your thoughts. Is this a hallucination due to the lack of oxygen? Akasaka feels like a stranger is talking to him. We must wish for a miracle, and you must wish for a miracle too. Otherwise a miracle wouldn't happen. Because unless everyone wishes for a miracle, it won't happen. Unless both sides reaches out, the hands won't meet. He doesn't know what she's trying to say, but somehow he feels like he can't miss any of it. He thinks she's saying something very important. Akasaka, if you wish, I'll grant you this miracle. And it'll be a miracle for us, too. By putting the broken pieces together, you'll create a big piece. Your single resolve can make a huge difference in the lives of many. Can you turn back time to that day? No, I can't do that. The only thing I can do is to let you notice. To let you notice that things you can't learn from one piece, you learn from other pieces. So all you have to do is return this broken piece to where it belongs to. That is a big miracle itself. Although you probably won't notice it. Thank you, Akasaka. Thank you for remembering me. I don't even know how much time I've spent asking you for help. And finally, it reached you. So I'll say one more time. Help me. No. Help us. Help all of us. We'll be right back with more Higurashi. This wasn't like this before. That's our hint to go back in, isn't it? Once again, we'll have to wait for that next time. Next time. Let's see if this left this broken piece. And just the contact we made with Akasaka there. when he reached out to us, really, praying for a chance. Because Rika reached out to him for help. And now finally, we picked up this piece. His regrets, his powerful will, his wish to change that fate, to do something about it. Because in that little broken piece we found, he was, obviously post the disaster, post his wife dying, he gained the inner focus to be really a great cop. But his regrets are still there. If his regrets, his wish, his will to change things, his will to change the ways things turned out, if that's powerful enough, then maybe that's the piece we need. Maybe we'll finally peek into this piece from the Matsuri Bayashi episode. Maybe our desired future will win out over Takano's desired future. Maybe it's enough. Maybe we finally have all the pieces we need. Maybe our will finally surpass that of Takano Mio. Maybe our good end will win out too. But we'll find out next time